Oh, yeah. What's up, Knock Nation? Happy Thursday. Welcome to another great day, y'all. It is a great day to choose joy and a great day to have an incredible conversation with my good friend, Ahmed, YourPop. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise virtually for my man, Ahmed, YourPop!
Hey, what's good, Hanak? How are you doing, man?
Hey, I'm Jack. It's a great day. How you doing, my friend?
Good, man. Give me some of that energy. Give me some of that,
Listen,
please.
man, I don't know if you saw last night. Kevin Durant left the East Coast. Did
Dude,
you see that?
I I was shocked. So one of my friends has been a Suns fan since the Amari Stoudemire days. So he's been trying to see them win for a really long time. And as soon as KD, like this morning, I think it was like 6 a.m. or something. I was like, why is he texting me so early? He said, bro, KD is going to the Suns. I'm like, no, he's not. Kyrie in the Mavs. How do you feel about the Mavericks? That's
Let's
sad.
go, baby. Let's go, baby. I tweeted it out. I got the receipts. I tweeted it out before the season started. I said the Dallas Mavericks are going to the finals and are going to win a chip. And I said that the Dallas Cowboys were going to be back-to-back Super Bowl champions. So I'm right on 1 out of 2.
I was actually I was thinking that the Dallas were going to the Super Bowls. Like I thought the Cowboys were going to do it, but last minute,
Listen, man. Listen, man. I'm hurting, Ahmed. I'm really hurting right now, and you are pouring salt in my wound, my man.
I apologize. Well, the Mavs though, the Mavs. It's gonna be
Hey,
good. Suns versus Mavs. I think. I don't know. We'll see.
it's going to be a great postseason. But man, I'll tell you, I am so excited about having you on. Thank you so much for your time. I really want to spend time just really digging into your story, how you got into crypto, what you built, your background. I just think it's so important for people to know your story as a source of inspiration, with the hopes that
Absolutely.
everyone watching would be able to derive some value, maybe move forward in their own dreams and visions. So let's start in the beginning. Where are you from? Where are you guys from? How did what was your career before all of this? And then we'll get into your crypto journey.
For sure. Yeah. So I'm actually from Sudan. I'm Sudanese American, and we immigrated to the US in early 2000. 2001 is when we first stepped foot on this land, and haven't really looked back since. We came on asylum because at the time, Sudan was going through its own civil war. It was a whole thing. But, thankfully, we were approved to come as refugees to the US, and, again, have been here ever since. But, you know, throughout my time here in the US, I studied through the regular public school system, went to university and studied pharmacy actually. And I graduated as a pharmacist, began actually working in the workforce, managing a community based pharmacy. So something like what you would see more Walgreens and CVS, but a more of a mom and pop style. So it was a smaller store. You get more patient interactions. And I realized, one of the things that I was doing there proactively was presentations. So every single week we would present to some pharmacy technicians, which are basically the core of the pharmacy. These are the guys that know how to do everything. And huge shout out to all technicians, maybe even watching the stream right now. So after that, I realized, my income at the time, and I don't mean to say this to sound, greedy or selfish, but $120,000 ends up being about $75,000 take home if you're just married to one person, which it was just my wife and I at the time. So, and it still is actually. But regardless, I think that kind of opened up my eye because I was like, man, we can't we don't have the autonomy to do whatever we want, and there's limitations based off of the amount of income coming in. And so for me, I was from the very beginning, I was when I first started working, I was like, I need to identify a way to supplement this income. And during my residency, actually, my salary was about $40,000 a year. So take home was about $2,500 a month. We had a small apartment. We didn't have much, coming for us. Yeah, it wasn't like the best living situation. We slept on the floor for the first 6 months of our apartment. A lot of people don't know that. So yeah, newlyweds. It wasn't like the the most ideal situation but she was willing to sacrifice because we wanted to be together. So yeah, long story short, during my residency year, I lockdown happened in 2020. And as soon as lockdown happened, I noticed I actually had a conversation with my cousin who's really big on stocks. And he dabbled in crypto a little bit. I started looking into crypto in 2017. As a college student, I didn't have much money. So I think I put a total of maybe $500, which was nearly a third of my savings at the time, just in Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Ripple. Those were my first four cryptocurrencies that I bought. I was like, okay, they seem reasonable. But I bought December of 20, was it? It was 2017. Yeah. When everything was booming. And after I bought, everything crashing down. And what did I do? I sold for a pretty big loss. I think after everything, I kept Litecoin in there for some reason because I liked the story of Charlie Lee or whatever. So I sold off pretty much all my positions and I was down to like 130 bucks. So all my money was pretty much gone. So again, or move fast forward into 2020, I started looking at the stock market. I started looking at the stock market and I was consuming YouTube day in and day out. Because of lockdown, I was starting to work from home, which was interesting because you would think, pharmacists working from home, but I did a lot of back end work 4 days out of the week and I'd go into the pharmacy once a week. So I realized, hey, about 6 to 7 hours a day, I was just waking up a little earlier to learn a little bit more about the markets, understanding how to trade, reading technical analysis, all the basics. And I realized all I'm learning everyone that's teaching me is YouTube. Like it's all YouTubers, these individuals who claim to have some kind of knowledge in this sense, but none of them are real day traders, if you will. So I was like, wait, so they're getting money from trading stocks and they're getting money to create content on YouTube on them trading stocks. So I was like, that's like double whammy. What if I tried, and really, it was just me trying. If you watch my first video, I had a headset, a microphone, a camera I bought from China that was imported, super low quality. It was such a bad video, but I talked about Airbnb's IPO. It got 200.
Wow.
Yeah, it got maybe 200 views, and I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. But from then, man, I just continued every single day. I would come home from work, record a video, upload, trade on the side, do everything, and the rest is history.
That's awesome, man.
Insanity.
I think learning how everyone got into crypto, you and I have very similar stories. My family is from Ethiopia, Tigray, Ethiopia, asylum, immigrated to the US. And I was looking for for a side hustle. I was in the mortgage industry making six figures, but I always knew that, I could do more. I am more than just,
Yeah,
working in a cubicle.
for
And I
sure.
also wanted that freedom as well. So we have very, very similar stories. So I don't know if you know, I bought Bitcoin in 2017. The chart went like, it was just crazy. And then it crashed, of course. And I said, yeah, no mas. And I was out. So it's so funny. Like the parallels between our stories, insane.
Yeah, no, especially with Bitcoin, man. Because I literally remember I was in my pharmacy classes at the time, and I would pull up my phone. I was like, Bitcoin was at 6,000. I refresh, it's 7,200. I'm like, dude, what is happening to this thing? And I would message my brother because he actually had more liquidity or more cash to spend. So he got in at Bitcoin at like 3,000, and then Ethereum he bought in at like $150. So this man played it right. And I was like, man, for me, I didn't have money. So I was like, just waiting. I was like, let it crash. Oh, no, let's keep 11, 12, 13. At 14,000, I think is when I started buying Bitcoin. Looking
Wow.
back, of course, I should have just kept holding, but
It's interesting. Like what? And by the way, I just want to give a huge shout out. I'm in the comments. Jonathan Manis, the one leg bandit, is in the house. Ahmad, good to see you here as well. I want to know, Pop, what kept you in the game? Because whenever I saw the charts, I left crypto, didn't even think about it until literally from 2017 till 21. I did not even literally think of the word Bitcoin or crypto until Elon got on Saturday Night Live. So help me understand, like, what kept you in the game during that time?
I wasn't in the game. Same exact
Oh, okay.
story. I lost all my money. I got out every year. And one other token that I ended up buying because I started becoming a degenerate. So I was like, let me get into some of these like very small potential 100x's. So there was like Telecoin and all these random tokens, Encash. The story was this Harvard grad created this crypto blockchain. There's a computer science graduate, and I was like, the story aligns. Okay, they're trying to change how retail works in terms of accepting crypto payments, all these things. I put in, I think I shifted all my money that I lost from everywhere, and then I added some more into these two. One of them ended up 100xing, but
Wow.
I wasn't paying attention to crypto. I bought it. I was like, I'll look back a few years later, 2021. I look back, I was still up like 50x of $100. So it's not an amazing return, but it was still like a few $1,000s. I was like, wait a second, is crypto back? And then some of my friends started talking about it. Then the whole Elon thing happened. And yeah, man, I think that's really when I started. I was like, okay, I need to build a portfolio, but I don't want to go through these centralized exchanges. Let me do some, create some wallets, that kind of thing. So yeah,
That's awesome. So what led you down the rabbit trail? Elon got on Saturday Night Live, and then were you just YouTubing? Did you hear about it from a friend?
I was YouTube. So I was actually a YouTuber at the time, and I started talking about crypto as the market started to take off again. So I made a video on H bar. I made a video on Dogecoin, and the Dogecoin video got better views than my stock videos. And at the time, again, I was like, I'm not really a crypto guy, but the engagement for crypto is amazing. And I was like, okay. So I made a Dogecoin video, and then the day he went on Saturday Night Live that night, I created a YouTube video saying like, let's let's talk about all the things that Elon mentioned. 60,000 views versus my 2 to 3,000 view average, and I was like, all right, what is this crypto thing? What's happening, and why is there so many people looking things up about it on YouTube?
Yeah.
And then slowly the shift started happening into more like crypto focus. And that was the time of Safe Moon. Everyone was looking at Safe Moon. Some of my friends made like $5,000, $10,000 over the span of like 2 or 3 days. And I was like, okay, I need to figure what's going on in all these things. So
That's awesome. Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, honestly, man, it's funny. I got into crypto around the same time, and it was all just consuming content for me. At that
yeah,
point, I lost thousands of dollars just making dumb trades, didn't know what I was doing. So I hunkered down, spent over 100 hours actually watching YouTube, learning just the technology behind it, and then certainly trading as well in the aftermath. But it's so funny talking to you now, because bro, I literally consumed your content. So like during the spring, like right after all that, your content, your SHIB content, and then going into that summer was what I was consuming. So I was just a passive bystander, a random Bigfoot, Sasquatch avatar on Twitter with like 12 followers and just sitting on the sidelines. I know it sounds crazy, just
yeah,
consuming all during the summer. And so I remember just consuming your content. So, man, you have had an impact on me. You've had an indelible impact. Even when I first started getting into DeFi and crypto, dude, you were so just up Mount Everest, and I was just getting started with like 800 followers or whatever, and just looking to you and learning. I want to talk to you about your YouTube journey,
yeah.
because that YouTube literally God has used that to change my life. And so I want to know. And by
Me
the way,
too.
shout out to the One Leg Bandit. He said earlier while you were talking about holding, he said, "Let's go hold for gold" in these comments. Appreciate you, Jonathan Manis, for your interaction.
Love it.
And so, man, I want to talk about YouTube and the power and the impact. And the reason why is because there are people watching this right now, whether it's on Twitter or on YouTube, or they're going to watch it later.
Yeah.
And maybe they're thinking about content and social media. Maybe they're scared, they're nervous. Maybe they were on the sidelines passively, like I was 2 years ago today. And so let's talk about your YouTube journey, what it's meant to you, the value, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of it comes down to, I think the timing and part of it luck, but most importantly, passion. So I think for me, I was working a 9 to 5 or a 9 to 6. I would work 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. with a 45-minute one-way commute every single day, right? Except on like Sundays, I was off. Same as you, huh? Same thing. So it was exhausting, going to work, but it was never exhausting going in front of the camera, talking to people, having conversations, doing live streams. That to me was like therapy. And I know it sounds wild, especially with like, the trolls out there, but I'm like, bro, bring it on. Like, thank you. Like I appreciate that. They say your biggest haters are actually your biggest fans. So I don't know. I know that's why enough preaches too. But man, it's just like, again, I think because I really wanted to make a change, a financial change for me and my family, which YouTube changed the entire trajectory of my life. And I would say not even just YouTube, but specifically a single community that is Shiba Inu. They were because of one conversation, and not a lot of people might know the story, but my brother and I we were just trying to get Wi-Fi to upload one of my normal videos because at the time I was living in a different state, so I'd come visit my family here and there, and he lived in the same state as my family. So him and I were on the car, and he was like, "Have you heard of the Shiba Inu thing?" And I was like, "I have no idea what you're talking about." He's like, "Well, it's a Dogecoin killer, and we know that Doge has been getting insane PR, but Shiba Inu is still kind of a quiet hidden gem." And I was like, "Well, how do you get it?" He said, "Well, it's only available mainly on DEXs or decentralized exchanges." So I was like, "Okay, well, maybe I'll try making some coverage." He's like, "Yeah, the community's all over social media." So I made a video. I didn't even know how to pronounce Shiba Inu. I think the first video I made was like Shiba Inu is what I was calling it, because I was like, "Well, what's this news about VB?" Again, that video like just exploded all of my previous analytics, and I was like, "What is this?" So I was like, "Okay, let me try making another video on it. A third, a fourth, a fifth." And then it was just like, okay, this is something different. And it feels like really this community is going to back anybody. And that's kind of how crypto became, right? It's like anyone who backs a certain crypto asset or cryptocurrency, they are going to get support from that community. And it so
Right.
happened that Shiba Inu was the biggest DeFi community out there. So maybe it was luck, maybe it was just smart selection. But again, it's just one conversation in the car talking about what is this thing, and following it soon, being like, "Hey, I'm gonna try it out. Why not?"
That's awesome. So what would you say to and I wanna give a huge shout out, I'm in the comments right now, Marcelino, Jonathan Manis, the One Leg Bandit, always good to see y'all in here. Thank y'all, Knock Nation, and your Pop's community for showing up. Pop, I wanna ask you, what would you say to someone who maybe sees guys like us? I mean, I literally live streamed myself quitting my job, 13 months
I've
ago
I've
on
watched
YouTube.
that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've seen it
Right. It's the dream, and I did that not to showboat. I want to do that to inspire, encourage people, because there are people who hate their job, they hate their current life circumstances,
for
don't know
sure.
what to do. Maybe they're toying around with content creation. What would
For
you say to
sure.
the person that's on the sidelines, like I was about a
Yeah.
year ago?
I would say again, we're all content creators. It might not be crypto, it might not be, whatever that you're currently watching or consuming. It might be something completely different that you're passionate about, that would excite you to come in front of a camera every day. I think again, a lot of my friends, especially that I know just in person, people that I grew up with were like, dude, you just got lucky. You just got lucky. You just got lucky. I'm like, well, I agree. There's definitely going to be an aspect of luck in everything. But I think, again, it's manifestation, believing that something that you're putting your best foot forward, you're going to give it your all, and you're going to be consistently producing and creating this type of content. At some point, it's going to hit. And so this year in 2023, I decided, you know what? Crypto is amazing. I love it, but it's so market dependent. And that's how you grow on YouTube or any other platform. If the market is poor, like in 2022, in all of 2022, I gained, I think, 15 subscribers on my channel. It was just the same people coming back, consuming the content because there's not new investors or new people coming into crypto. That's understood. But I was like, you know what? Maybe it was luck, but I believe over the last 2 years on YouTube, my 2 year anniversary was January 17th, I believe. Being 2 years consistently on the platform, I think I've learned a thing or two regarding how to create content and make sure that it's, something that people want to consume. So I made a new channel and I was like, you know what? Let's start a new channel with a similar vibe, but not crypto related. Instead, it's going to be finance, millennials, things that I'm passionate about, just to see what happens. And so far, again, it's been a month and 2 days since the channel has went live, and it's already at 1,300 subscribers and getting decent viewership because now I know how to optimize these things. And all the things that I've learned are also on YouTube, vidIQ, TubeBuddy. There's all these different SEO type platforms you can visit to make sure that your video gets shown to others. So again, I think content creation is really the number one way out. And I believe that even as a side hustle, it's the number one side hustle that you can start right now.
Yes, 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 and I love it. And by the way, I love your channel. You know me. I'm about that energy, that positivity. And so I
Absolutely,
love
man.
your channel. Can we shout the channel out so everyone watching right now can go subscribe on YouTube?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. And thank you, Hanak. It's just TQM or the quintessential millennial. So if you search TQM, it should be the first channel that pops up now. It wasn't like that at the beginning because there's other TQMs. But yeah, the quintessential millennial. I just talk about everything, chat GPT, finance, all these things. And, again, some people like to keep everything on one central channel. But I was like, you know what? I just want to show people that you can do it. And because my second video on the channel is the number one side hustle in 2023, YouTube. And I'm showing them you don't have to be the one who started during the pandemic when there was peak viewership on YouTube. Instead, again, something you're passionate about, something you're consistent with, upload 2 to 3 times a week. I was kind of crazy on the YourPop channel because I uploaded daily every single day for 395 days. I missed a day when I got extremely sick with COVID. But regardless, it's, just do it, get started. And I kid you not, like it might be the thing that changes the rest of your life, like for me and for Hanak as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's my story. I started with a cracked iPhone 10, walking around screaming into a camera phone, and my life has been different. So I thank God for that opportunity. Okay, everybody, make sure you go subscribe. TQM, especially you, Knock Nation. You guys know how important it is to continue growing internally and spiritually. We talk about it all the time. Your mindset
Absolutely.
is your life set. You will be fed consuming this man's content. So please go subscribe to
Thank you, Hanak.
at TQM. All right, let's wrap this conversation up. What are you most excited about in 2023? This could be business. This could be a crypto project. You know what I'm excited about? This could be something in content creation or marriage, family, whatever you want to talk about. What are you excited about? What are you bullish on in 2023?
Oh, that's a good one. So my big things for 2023 is the new channel, of course, TQM. I'm excited also for hopefully the Fed pivot that we're anticipating sometime in the next couple quarters, where hopefully crypto starts to really take off. Even though right now we're getting some teases here and there of the market, Bitcoin going from 16 to 24K, which was a pretty big jump. But that and also health. So one of the things that I definitely neglected as a content creator, especially me, was I was working and then just working and working, and I forgot about everything else. And so, I gained some weight, and now it's time for me to lose it. And thankfully, got my gym membership. I've been going pretty much every single day. So again, I think again, health ultimately is wealth, and without health, you can't really enjoy life. So that's the three things, I guess. Hopefully, Fed
That's
pivot,
awesome.
and yeah, man, I'm excited to see where crypto goes and working with communities. And I think again, like, I know it's controversial, and something that I go back and forth on is working with all these crypto communities, because the question becomes is like, okay, as a person who has created a platform for themselves on a space like YouTube and Twitter, the moral dilemma comes down to, is it okay to work with communities or projects for a payment, right? And I think that is something that is 100% a valid argument. But my thing about it is, how else will a crypto project during a bear market get any type of PR or coverage?
Right.
And I think the reality of it is, we try our best as influencers, as people in the space. I don't even like the word influencers, as content
Yeah.
creators that are in the space, to do what it is that we can when it comes to vetting projects. Right now, there are people out there that will accept anything and post about it every single day. But I think at the same time, it's not always just about the financial gain, but it's also about projects that deserve some sort of PR, that have a strong community behind them, like any that we're seeing even right now in 2023 that are launching, or ones that from 2022. They deserve some kind of again, recognition. And so just putting eyes on these projects, I think, is fair. But at the same time, it's making sure that people don't just do it because somebody told you to. And I think that's one thing that we all need to be careful about in this space, and that is, can't tell anybody to buy, sell. I say this in every video now. I can't tell you to buy, sell, or hold any crypto asset in the market, but I can always at least inform you on some of the things that are available out there. And
Yeah.
I think that's what it comes down to. So again, that's just
Yeah.
my take. It's controversial, I do understand, but it's definitely, been something that has been super amazing. And I'm really happy with how communities have reacted to it, as well as, the teams and development teams and communities. So
Yeah, no, no question about it. And you talk about informing people, informing the people out there about projects. I mean, honestly, you were the first one to cover. I mean, what you just said, that's the reason why I've only messed with one project so far in 2022, at least the last three quarters of 2022. You covered Apollo Crypto. You
Mhm.
actually covered it before I ever did. You were one of the reasons why I got, introduced to the project. And then once I began to learn and study who these, particularly the leaders and where they were headed, man, your coverage and your exposure helped me find what I personally believe is the best project in DeFi, especially in light of their background, especially in light of what they've accomplished in their past and their resumes. So,
Absolutely.
I commend you. I can't thank you enough for that work. It's helped me find a project that I believe is going to take me past the $100 million challenge.
Yeah, and it just so happens that they're in your neck of the woods, so that's another big plus. But I'm really excited about Apollo. Again, what they're doing with content creators, and now their shift to gaming or gamifying crypto in any way. I think it's gonna be special. The community's still small, right? And that's the thing about it, is it's a DeFi project, but it's not really in that realm of projects, if that makes any sense,
It's a
right?
business.
It is, and I think the majority of degenerates are people like the people like myself, for example. That's not always the most attractive, but I think when people start realizing, wait a second, these are the people that continue to build their projects out and don't just abandon them. Because that's the one thing that I've learned since 2021 is, man, a lot of these people just will hype something up and run away with everything. And I'm like, why? Why? You had such a good idea and concept. But with Apollo, it's just been building, building, building. And I know there's naysayers out there. And I know there's people who are like, well, all of DeFi isn't real and whatever. But I think, again, it's just time is the best teller. And I think I'm excited to see where everything goes in the future.
Likewise, my friend. I'm crazy excited about that project, and I'm crazy excited about what you're doing. Everybody, go follow, go subscribe. First of all, follow Pop on Twitter at YourPop, and then the number eight. Don't forget the number eight at the end. And then also on YouTube, go subscribe to his channel. It's Your Pop, but also subscribe to his new channel, TQM.
Appreciate it, Hanak.
Tango, yeah, Quebec, and then Mary. So we got to make sure we get it right, because I need everyone fueled up, charged up, and ready to go. So, man, thank you so much for your time today. And I really appreciate you and your time, brother. Thank you for sharing your story. I hope someone's inspired to go out, start their own business, make an investment that could change their family. Any parting words?
Honestly, again, just as Hanak was saying, fuel yourself. And I think, again, this is the year that you will pick up a camera and start creating content in whatever you want to create. And also, let's have Hanak on the YourPop channel for an AMA soon.
Hey, let's go, baby! Woo! Hey, I appreciate your time, brother. Have a great day.
You too. Thanks, Anak.